All right, so what is the P system? Why do I use it? How do I use it? Okay, so the first thing, the P system is something that's made up by golf machiners. Homer Kelly, Mac O'Grady, they made up a system to tell you where each position was at so you can work on it independently, okay? Now, it makes my life a lot easier when I say, hey, go to left arm parallel, and someone goes first parallel here, and I'm like, no, go to second parallel right here, okay? That's just P3 to me, okay? If I tell somebody in transition to get down to here, and on the phone, I say, you know, when you get down to left arm parallel on the downswing and your shaft's at this position, I could say, you know what, P5, boom, done, okay? So what I'm gonna show you is the P system so you can make things happen quicker with your coach, because most coaches know this. It'll make it a lot easier for you to communicate, okay? So come on over here, Johnny. So we're gonna take you through the P system on both sides, one down the line. So the first one is P1, which is just your address position, right where he's just sitting up, okay? So the first one is gonna be P1. Go ahead, P1, or P2, I'm sorry. P2's here. Now, you're gonna get players outside, inside, down the line, face in different position, left arm parallel the back, left arm out here. But P1 to me is just parallel with the shaft to the ground, okay? Take it to P2, or P3. Left arm parallel here, that is what we call P3. Take it to the top. Now, some people aren't gonna even take it past this piece, so that's gonna be their top, but we're going to P4 as the top. P5's transition, where the left arm's parallel. Now you're gonna see players steep here, down here, arms really deep, and we're gonna get into all that stuff. P6. P6, a great position. You're gonna see this club way in for drawers, out for slicers, right down the line for players who hit it straight. P7 would be impact. P8 would be this way. You're gonna say players way out here, way more left, down the line, face is really open, face is really closed. But P8's gonna be parallel on the way through with the shaft. And then P9, it's gonna be here. You're gonna see this face really open, really this way. You're gonna see them all over the place. You're gonna see some exiting up here, exiting over here, but we're gonna look at it and it's just parallel at P9. And then P10, go through the shot, you're gonna see this is right through his eyeballs at a right angle to his back line is what I would teach, but that's a perfect position. P10, toe up, hip square, chest square, and in a balanced position, pressure all in the heel, foot inverted, okay? And we'll go through all those. So those are the positions, 10 positions. Now go and face the camera. So there's your setup, that's P1, go to P2. P2's here. Now some players are gonna be really wide here, some are gonna be really narrow depending on where they're at. Most of my players are out about here, but we're gonna get into that. P3, okay? P4 the top, yep. And you're gonna see he's fully turned, hip inside the foot line, knee inside straight line. Let's go straight line. Everybody's gonna be different. Some players are gonna even be out here not being able to turn. So P4 is the very top, P5, good right here. P6 parallel. You're gonna see a lot of players real deep with this handle, really back here, really released. We like this left arm on the right leg, butt end in the middle. P9 or P10, or I'm sorry, P7 is impact. Some players are gonna have their handle really far forward. Some are gonna have it really back here. Some are gonna have it really open, close, all kinds of stuff you're gonna see. And then you're gonna come through to P8, shaft parallel, face could be open, close, arms really narrow, really wide, and then P9 here, and then P10's the finish, okay? So now set up right now, Johnny. I'm gonna take it through what I like to look at in slow motion. Go ahead and set up, Johnny, down the line. So this is what I like on the P system, okay? So if we took it to first parallel, I'll go to first parallel, okay? I like this, like Johnny takes it more outside here. I would take this left arm parallel to the back line, face square to the back line, right arm bent about 30 degrees here. It would say 150. And then I would say take it back again. And I would say I would like to see this butt end pointing at the ball. So it could be outside the ball, inside the ball, left arm a little bit inside target line. Face is starting to close more, okay? And if it was square like he had it here, like right there, and then his arm got in front, that would open the face up a little bit, okay? So when we close it a little more and his arm gets back in front, the face is still square to his back line, okay? So now we're gonna take it to P3 again. So you're gonna see a lot of players really deep here with the arms, really outside. I like the arm a little bit inside the back line. Left arm and shaft, we'll talk about that. Now go to the top. This is structure up top. I like this arm parallel to the ground, this forearm parallel to spine to vertical, and that left arm on the shoulder line and face a little close to the forearm. I've always been taught this with a little cup, but most players are getting more shut here. Now P5, come on down. So at P5, this shaft is perpendicular to his back line here. Left arm's on target to about 20 degrees in, but the arm, I like it more in as the arm's in that little inside target line. Hips being square, shoulders back about 45. Now come back into impact. I like the chest almost square here, face square to the back line. And then when he comes into, you can see the arm still bent, coming into impact. I like the chest open a little bit, hips open, pelvis tilted a little bit. And then when he comes through, he's starting to catch the chest up, okay? That's what I like right about here. Face is still square. And when it exits out, you can see more of the face rather than being like into a position open or really closed. When I see somebody really open here, I see a lot of closure, okay? That's what we're seeing. I like, go back to P9 through the ball. I like to see a lot of that face right there and this exiting through back at the ball line, okay? And then through the finish, through the eyeballs, straight up and down, toe straight up and down there, hip square, pressure on the heel, foot inverted and very balanced, and then drop it back in front of you. And now this is perpendicular to the spine. So that's what I like, okay? Now go ahead and face the camera. Now take it, that's P1, P2. So I like it where this butt ends just outside the foot. I don't like it too wide. I don't like the wrist to cock too quick right there because that would be there. I like it just out foot line, arm bent a little bit. Now take it to P3. At this position, most of my players are back about 60 here with the shoulders. Arms about 120, okay, which means it's bent 60 degrees. There's no more wrist cock here from here. So if we go back to P2, okay, I have no more wrist cock. Keep your arm straighter and go up here. There would be no wrist cock, but that's no more wrist cock. Now do it again the right way. The arm's gonna fold more, so it's gonna appear to have more wrist cock, but you don't. There's no more wrist cock from this position for my players. And then when you take it to the top, I like to see the shoulder retract, full turn, hip inside. I like the knee to be about straight line unless they have a lot of turn. But if they don't have flexibility, I like to move it in like Johnny a little because he's not flexible because he's lifting too many weights. Now back at P5, boom. At this position right here, I like this still about L shape. Some of my players have more of this, which means the wrist is cupped too much, okay? So I like it here because it means they have a wrist that's in flexion or flat, okay? I like this arm to be about 90 here to about 100. And then when he comes down, the arm would be 120. Now here's a good position for you. I see some players with a really closed face. And where's their right elbow? Really in front. Now I see players with an open face and they close it by getting it more behind them. So I like this arm in front right here like he's doing a curl. So let go of the club and do a curl right here. So right in that position's a curl. If he gets too deep, that's just because his face is shut. If he gets too out here, his face is open, okay? So go ahead and go all the way top and come back down to that P6 position. Now here's another thing I'll look at. This shaft is parallel to the ground, okay? This butt end is in the middle of the leg. The left arm is on the right leg. Now that's a little more in front, right about there. That's where I like players to be there. Now you can see the pit of his arm. This is my elbow and this is the pit of the arm is up. That means the face is closed more, so I got it more up, so the face is square to my back line. So his face is now square to his back line. Now when we come into impact, he's very open. This left leg is almost straight, but it's not yet. The left leg is here. Pressure's about 70% with an iron on the left foot right here. Chest is open about 30 degrees to 15 degrees. Hips open about 45. And the left hand is on the shoe and the arm's in front right there. So go back to P6 again. Now, when I have a player with a really open face, you're gonna see a lot more arm behind and club like this. So if that's you, you know what to do. If your face is really shut, where are you gonna be with the arm? There, and the handle's gonna be more forward, okay? You're gonna get more compression. Now, for someone that doesn't have speed, I don't advise that because the ball's gonna go too low. But if you have a lot of speed, you can afford to get the handle forward. If you have someone like Johnny has, he has this little kid that has a handle like that, and the ball goes pretty low, doesn't it? So, and his dad likes the trapping. As soon as he grows and gets stronger, it's gonna be a great release. So that release at P7, get back to P7, is left hand on the shoe would be optimal for most players. And then when he comes through to parallel, left leg's extending. The right arm's finally extending. The shoulder's pulling back. This is extending, the pelvis is extending, the chest is extending up. And then from P9 here, he's fully extended with his arms. When you see somebody come in with an open face, they look very chicken wingy here. That's their squaring mechanism, okay? And now turn down the line from that P6 position again. When the face is open it. What do you see a lot of players with their right arm doing? It's very straight, very extended. You can stand straight up too. Yes, because that's elongating the swing radius. Let me have this. So when the face is open and you see somebody with a really straight arm, that's because the face is open and you're trying to square that up. And that means you couldn't turn because the ball would go right, so you're squaring it up. So that P7 position is all dictated by face. So as you're going back to P7 again, or P7 impact, then post impact, you're gonna see everything extend here. And then I like the face, very much a lot of face, which means the face was square at P6 to the back line. And then that's a very, very like stable face or non-manipulated face through the ball, pointing back at ball line. So when I say back at ball line, go ahead, go through again to P9. Good. I like this to be back at the ball line. I turn around and face the camera one more time and go to P9 one more time. Boom. At this P9 position right here, you notice his chest is square, his hips are square. If your face is open, show them where most people's impact's at. Yep. They're not turned, because if they turn, the ball would go right if your face was like this and you turn like Johnny threw the ball. So you have to slow down and square everything up, and it looks like this at P9. And then P10 all the way down the line like you're gonna swing into him, and go through to a full finish. This is a classic position, right through the eyeballs. The shaft is at a right angle to the back line. This arm is parallel to the ground. This is out of your face, get it in your face. Okay, this is out of your face. And this trail arm is external. So this is external, and we'll get into that. And his toe, get your toe a little less over, and this is up here, and he's facing it. That would be a classic position. And to relax, put the arms back down, get this shaft right there. You can twirl it or not twirl it, whatever. But that is the P system, all of them, 1 through 10, set up through the finish. If you guys are looking for more tips or more information about the golf swing, I've got lots more on George Gankus Golf. Click the link in the description and you'll have all the info you could ever need.